Hi crew, we're going to be doing a little math review, 4-6 and 4-7, dividing with two-digit divisors. We're going to go over a little bit, and for those of you who haven't heard our in-class lessons, we're a little bit crazy talking about our French Quebec families, but sometimes when we're trying to understand math and it's not making sense, thinking about it narratively can really be effective. So we're going to talk about this as our house in the house, and we know that the number in the house is a dividend, and the number at the door is actually a divisor, and the number on the roof is a quotient. Now we also add a chimney because sometimes it's easier to think of the opposite role of division, which is multiplication. Now I'm going to get started with our other pieces that we add to this lively lesson, that every number in the house must have a number above it in order for the problem to be complete. We also have to talk about who lives in the house, and that would be dad and mom and sister and brother, and don't forget dog checkers. And we go through these because they remind us of the steps to take when we're in the middle of a division problem. So let's go ahead and get started dividing. Now when you're dividing double-digit divisors, remember you do not split apart this number. You keep the 31 together. Unlike in multiplication where you were used to splitting apart the digits, you divide this number together as a 31. So we'll start just like we did with single digit, and you will divide 2 by 31. Well, 2 is much smaller than 31, so that would be 0. It's not divisible by 31. Then we go to the next phase, which is 24 divided by 31. Again, the number is still smaller than 31, so I would have to put a 0 here. Notice I'm lining up. Every number in the house has a number above it. And our last option here, 243 divided by 31, and you're thinking, well, that's what I started with. Well, we have to come over, and I forgot to mention our Quebec family raises chickens. So we do our chicken scratch over to the side where we guess and check. Now, these aren't random guesses because we're going to try to get a little bit close with a front-end estimation. So I'm trying to think what number times 3, this front number, is going to get me closest to this 24 out of 243, to the front end of this number. So if you think about it, I know that 8 times 3 is 24. Let's see if this will work. So 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Well, it would have worked. It was close. The front ends match, but this is a 3 and this is an 8. This is too large. So all I have to do is go one lower. 31 times 7, and that won't get me there. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. And this is what we can divide by. So 31 goes into 243 7 times. Our next step is to multiply. Well, this Quebec family is a recycling family. Let's recycle our chicken scratch by looking at the multiplication we've already done. We know that 31 times 7 is 217. And we'll put that number directly below the 243. Our next step is to subtract. So let's subtract the two numbers. I have to borrow. I can't take 3 from 7. So I'm going to borrow from the 4, which leaves me 3, and 13. 13 take away 7 is 6. 3 take away 1 is 2, 26. Now, last step, check if this number, dog checkers, if this number is smaller than the number at the door. It is, so we did everything correctly so far. And our final step is bring down, and we don't have anything left to bring down. Every number in the house has a number above it. So our remainder for this problem is 26. Now love this, when we go to check our work, it's already done for us because we know to check, you take the quotient times the divisor, or the number on the roof times the number at the door. We already did it. It was 217, so all we have to do is add in the remainder. 7 plus 6 is 13, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and bring down the 2. Aha! Voilà, ici, là, dans, chez moi. No reason on a division test why you should miss them, because you'll do all the checking yourself. Now let's go down and try this problem. 678 divided by 33. So again, we have to start by setting our problem up. For our reminders, every number in the house needs a number above it. Who lives in the house? Dad, Mom, sister, brother, and don't forget dog checkers. All right, ready to begin? I'm going to divide 33 into 6. And it can't go because 6 is much smaller. Now 33 into 67. What times 33 would get me closest to 67? Well, we have to come over and try some chicken scratch and guess and check. Now we can do a front-end estimation again. We can think about this logically. 33 is not that far away from 67. It's about doubled. So let's try it. Let's try doubling this number. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. Aha, perfect. 33 goes into 67 2 times. I did the division. The multiplication was already done for me. 33 times 2 is 66. I'll write the number here. Next, I need to subtract these two numbers. 67 take away 66 is 1. That is smaller than the number at the door. That was my dog checker step. And the next step is to bring down. Bring down the 8. Now I have to divide 33 into 18. How many times? Well, 18 is smaller than 33. But you can't leave this place value in the ones place empty. So it goes in 0 times. You have to add that 0 in. There's nothing left in the house that needs a number above it. When we're left with this number below, you're right, this becomes the remainder. Our answer is 20, remainder 18. Now this time, when we go to check, there's 2 ways we could do it. I hope you remember me teaching you about multiplying with zeros. That I could multiply using the whole numbers, the 2 times the 33, and I could just add on the 0 on the back end of that answer. If you don't believe me, let's do it the long way. Let's do a lattice method. I do love lattice method in chicken scratch. No, not because it looks like a chicken coop, but because to me, if you can handle making these lattices, the boxes, I think it goes much faster. Now I'm going to write in black so you can see it better. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 0 times 3 is 0. And 0 times 3 is 0. Now I'm going to add down the water slides. You remember this method? I do that so you can focus on the water slides more. There's nothing in this column but 0, so that would be 0. In this water slide, it would be 6, 0, and 0. That would be 6. And in this water slide, 0 plus 6 plus 0 is 6. And nothing's in there, that would be 0. I don't even have to write it in. My answer is read this way. 6, get back there. 6, 6, 0. Well, you're saying that's not the number in the house. Don't forget, we have to add in the remainder. So it was remainder 18. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7. And bring down the 6. Aha! Voilà! Ici, là, dans, chez moi. Well done, folks. Follow these steps. I know you'll be successful in your division.